ghosts and ghouls. My name is Jack and welcome to Horror Show Art. I'm a digital illustrator, mask and effects artist specialising in all things horror. Today I'd like to share with you the result of my biggest and most intricate project yet. It's controversial, but completely creepy. It's my replica of the Book of the Dead from Evil Dead 2013. One of my big ambitions as an artist and collector last year was to add every single book from the Evil Dead franchise to my collection. Little did I know that it would send me down an entirely new path creatively. I decided that if I wanted to have pieces that go above and beyond in terms of accuracy and detail, then I'd be better off tackling everything myself from the ground up. That way I'd have complete control, learn a lot of new skills and, very importantly, have fun. There are some really talented artists out there working on books, but when it comes to the book from the 2013 remake, I think it's fair to say that no one has made a version that was close to screen accurate, so I decided that I wanted this version to be the first book I made. I opted to sculpt with monster clay. I enjoy working with monster clay. It helps me work quickly and pull out a lot of detail. I removed the cover from an old hardcover book that seemed to be the correct size and I sculpted directly onto that. I used reference images from the movie and some from the Mystic Museum where the screen-used book is currently being showcased. I also received a crucial image of the back cover from John Thomas over on the KOS Facebook page. Big shout out to John and of course to Al Baradi for their help and advice. Once I'd roughed out the main cover, I then sculpted in the flaps I would use for binding. I finished the sculpt in about a week, and once the sculpt was complete, I made a mould from hydrocal plaster and cast the cover itself in latex. I tinted the latex white so I could start with a light base and build up the desired colour through washes, mottling and spattering. This is my favourite way to achieve a realistic skin tone. For my personal copy, I went as accurate as I could to the copy being showcased at the Mystic Museum. There's 1,000 colours in this piece. It looks organic and rotten and has a lot of tone and depth. After the base paint was complete, I went in and added the smaller details such as veining and dried blood. Once I painted the cover, I added the stitching using a thick wax thread. I cut the cover pieces out of a sturdy foam and secured the cover to them using tacky glue. Once again, sorry for forgetting to document the process. When sourcing pages, I was fortunate to find that a very generous artist has replicated the 2013 pages and made them available for free online. He's drawn pages from every version of the Book of the Dead, and I do recommend checking out his work over at elderprops.com. I decided I wanted extra pages in my book, so with his permission, I used his replica pages from the other movies to make some new pages which feature all of the original Necro art set in the remake style. I call these pages the hybrid pages, and everyone who buys a cover from me will receive a link to download them for free. The pages looked a bit clean, so I used a grungy paper texture to age them up a bit. For future books, I'll be drawing the pages up myself from scratch, but I really couldn't fault these ones and was happy to include them in this piece. Once they were ready, I printed them on a handmade style cotton paper that I'd given a light stain to. I trimmed them to size using a guillotine, and I bound them using a perfect bind technique. After this, I secured them to my book cover, and I had my completed book. But we weren't done there. I wanted to go all in on detail, so I painstakingly added the annotations seen in the film. The director wanted the book to look like a working document, so there's lots of different styles, languages, colours, and even different pens included within the piece. Each page is also smeared and stained with blood, so that was my next task. Adding blood to each page, letting it dry, and so on and so on. Once this was done, I sanded down the edges so they'd fit snugly inside the cover, and my book was complete. Monto, an ancient text bound in human skin. The book tells of an evil entity, a vicious taker of souls. According to the book, if you speak the words out loud, it gives him the right to possess the living. Once his thirst for souls is appeased, the skies will bleed, and an abomination will rise from hell. So, here we have my finished replica of the book from the 2013 remake of Evil Dead. Let's have a little flick through, shall we? Ouch! Ooh! That doesn't bode well. Anyway, so here you can see how everything has come together. I've truly packed in the detail on every page. I've included all of the annotations that I saw in the film, and I've added some of my own. A lot of them are quotes and Easter eggs from the other movies. You can see all of the familiar pages from the movie. This one's interesting. Ooh, looks like someone's made rubbings of the translations. Oh, maybe I should read these words out loud. No, I'll do it later. You can see that each page is aged, weathered, and splattered and soaked with realistic blood. The actual construction of the piece is definitely a little rough around the edges, but I think it suits the overall concept of the book, and I imagine I'll improve as I make more. Now we're on to my hybrid pages. Any Evil Dead aficionados out there will recognise these iconic illustrations that I've repurposed for my new pages. They look right at home with the pages we saw on screen, and are a perfect way to fill out the book without deviating from the style. All in all, I'm very proud of this piece. Every element has come together to create something that feels like it's right out of the film. The cover looks and feels like real skin, the binding and stitching feel rough and authentic, and the pages look legitimately cursed. This is the first book from the franchise that I've created, and I've definitely learned a lot along the way. I'll take this with me as I venture into new projects. Keep your eyes peeled. Some of you may be watching and wondering how you can get your hands on one of these books. Whilst I'm not in a position to offer fully finished books right now, I'm sorry but they're just too time consuming, I am offering finished covers. Here I have a set of covers all with a unique paint job to reflect how different the book looks in each shot from the movie. Some look older and more rotted, and some are fresh and bloody. Each person who orders a book cover will receive assembly instructions and a link to download the pages. To buy one, simply head over to my Instagram at horrorshow_art and shoot me a DM. These covers will be available for a limited time from me directly, and once they're gone, I'll be moving on to other projects. And hopefully one day soon, I can do a run of fully finished books for those who want one exactly like mine. Thank you so much for checking out this video. To see more of my work, my collection, or insights into my process, then be sure to follow my Instagram at horrorshow_art. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and until next time, they're coming to get you, Barbara.